Welcome back, YouTube. Wildlion Games here, and a new gameplay deep dive trailer from EA Sports College Football 25 just dropped. Our boy Kirk Herbstreit is narrating the entire thing, and the trailer is showing off some gameplay snippets throughout while highlighting some key features of the College Football 25 gameplay. There's quite a lot to unpack here for College Football 25. Let's get started. Beyond the trailer, EA Sports drops an extremely in-depth breakdown of gameplay on their website. You can find the link in the description below, and there's a few things that stood out to me. I think the passing game for football video games has changed drastically. First up is the new pre-snap hot routes and stem adjustments for receivers. There's now a total of 14 hot route options to choose from, plus custom stems, and the custom stems actually allows you to adjust the depth of a route. So when you're in a situation where you have a receiver running a short curl route and you want to extend that curl route, you want to keep the route, but you want to extend his depth, you're now able to do that, and you can do it in increments of 1 yard and 5 yards using either the left bumper or left trigger to make those adjustments. The level of offensive strategy from this alone is far more expansive than what we've seen before in a football game. And the extra layers of hot routes that are now available to us, along with just updated routes that we haven't seen in the college football game, basically in 10 years, is going to give the user more control than ever in the passing game. Now, I'm looking forward to shortening routes off of, DBs that are in off coverage and, taking that curl route from, maybe a 12 to 10 down to like a 5 to 3, and even making my dig routes maybe a tad more shallow if I think the linebackers are going to back up into coverage. The next feature I'm stoked about in gameplay, also involved in the passing game, is disguising coverages on defense. You're no longer just stuck with showing your base alignment, and now you can disguise coverage packages with, single high safety looks depending on the play that you called, and just disguise your looks like coaches do in real life. And I think this finally brings that chess match to the video game gridiron for the first time. And just like real life, players aren't perfect, and they're gonna make mistakes. So if you got a defensive back with low composure, he may mess up his actual assignment while you're disguising a look. If I had to round it out with a top 3 gameplay features that I'm excited for, number 3 would be the player abilities. Player abilities are more reminiscent of the 2K player badges than they are of Madden's X Factors, and for that, I'm thankful. There are 80 player abilities in the game, both mental and physical abilities that create various impacts on the way you play. A player ability can range from tiers of bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, and a player can have a maximum of 8 abilities, 5 physical and 3 mental. Something like Field General is a mental ability, while Workhorse is a physical ability. Field General abilities change based on the tier the player has acquired. So if you have a bronze tier, you can see blitzes post-snap. Silver tier allows you to see blitzes pre-snap. Gold tier adds in the ability to see coverages, and then the platinum tier of Field General ability allows the player to see disguised coverages along with the blitzes pre-snap. Workhorse, on the other hand, adds in a layer of protection for the user in the wear and tear system, with each tier increasing the fortification against wear and tear. And like I said earlier, the max a player can have at any time is 8 abilities, 5 physical, and 3 mental. Some other sneak peeks I noticed in other abilities are being a fan favorite, which increases player composure for home games. There's also a clear-headed ability, which allows the player for stronger protection against composure loss. It appears EA has spent a lot of time making sure their gameplay features intertwine with one another for a complete and well-rounded experience. We look at confidence, we look at composure, and there's a funnel about how it affects your team as a whole and the individual players based on their archetype. The roaring crowd can mess with the play art on the screen for the inexperienced QB, and the effects won't be as strong for the seasoned, senior quarterback veteran. The same goes for abilities. A quarterback who is more of a scrambler, he might see an improvement in ball security when he starts to heat up. But the Field General quarterback, he'll see improved accuracy when he starts to heat up. And composure will come and go as players get cold or heat up, and you'll be able to track that with a bar beneath the player being either blue or red. And depending on their experience and crowd level, those swings of getting cold or heating up can be extremely dramatic or just very minute, small changes throughout the game. The louder the crowd gets, the higher the modifier and composure hits. This is designed to accurately reflect the real-life dynamics of playing in a hostile environment, and further just adds the immersion to the gaming experience. Some other major changes are going to be what they're calling real-time coaching, which is just an advancement to the offensive and defensive CPU gameplay. You can expect to see teams, employ an array of adjustments such as shade techniques, showing blitz, run commits, QB contains, and a whole bunch of other situational adjustments. And the biggest thing is the AI will now recognize and adapt to your offensive personnel. So if you're dominating a team with the inside zone, you'll notice the computer will start tweaking their defensive line, providing a different look to hopefully alter your play call. And all the different teams are going to have their own coaching, AI and personalities. How quick they adapt to what you're doing will be different from team to team. For those interested in playing as Air Force and running the option has now seen a pretty good overhaul, I would think, than what we've also seen in past football games. You now have a quick pitch and a strong pitch. So a quick pitch is, you just tap the pitch button real quick, it'll execute a pitch, and it'll be swift. It's useful in tight spots. Holding down for a strong pitch, that's suitable when you have ample space between you and the approaching defender. It requires more time, but it's also going to offer more precise accuracy and velocity. And also, fake pitching is back, so you can activate that by double tapping L1 or the left bumper. And new control around your quarterback, you can exit out of the pitch by just hitting the sprint button. And they've added a whole bunch of new animations with pitch animations and pitch catch animations as well. And to add on with all the changes to the passing game, we're going to see revamped passing coming back with that left stick, with more variance and increased variance of the left stick for leading passes in different directions. The biggest change that I think we're going to notice is the throw power. And throw power just doesn't necessarily mean like how far you can throw it, but it's how hard you can throw it. And so, this is important in the context of, a curl route at 10 yards or a slant coming across the middle, and also, those deep routes going 60 plus yards down the field. And so now what we're going to see is a power meter when we're passing the ball with 3 different colors on there: blue, yellow, and red. And the size of the colors and the power meter is going to depend on the quarterback's attributes, his abilities, throw distance, and other factors that impact the throw, such as, if you're being pressured, throwing on the run, throwing off your back foot, etc. So landing in the blue in the power meter, that's going to increase your chances of, a safe, accurate ball. And landing in the yellow could mean more uncertainty from your ideal target, and then red indicates potential inaccuracy. So as I'm understanding this, as you hold the button down and you exit the blue and into the yellow and into the red, the harder your throw is going to be, but also there's more potential for being inaccurate as well. The improvements to the passing game alone and the defensive coverages are going to be a true game changer. Just from the offensive side of the ball, being able to call extra hot routes now and have extra route options for your receivers. And then I'm actually most excited for the ability to adjust the depth, to be able to go in there and you're looking at, a deep slant, and you got a DB playing off coverage, and you're like, what, man, I want him to cut this slant down to just 2 steps. And now you can do that. You can adjust the depth of your slant route. I'm looking forward to the power meter, and I'm looking forward to the precision passing with the left stick. But we've seen stuff like that before, and I think the hot routes additions and the stem adjustments that are new are going to be exciting. And then on the defensive side, to counteract that with the ability to disguise coverage, that's major. That is so major that you can go out there and disguise coverages. And there's a little bit of risk and reward too. Your inexperienced DBs might actually mess up your coverage, and then you can get blown coverage, trying to be too sneaky, trying to get too cute, out there disguising coverages. But now having that ability to even do that, no football game has done that. So there's a couple gameplay features in here that, EA is bringing to the table that are brand new for football video games, whether that's 2K, whether that was back in the NFL Fever days and the old Madden days and Backbreaker, etc. Like, none of these games have ever had anything like this. Now, the power meter, we've kind of seen that brought to Madden. We've seen that implemented in other games. And now, my whole thing with the power meter is I'm not going to overhype it just yet, because, you know, for all we know, they're just adding a visualized element to something that's already been in previous games. I mean, we've had that before. We all know that you can, you know, tap A for a touch pass and hold A down for a bullet pass. I think the goal here with the power meter is that you used to be able to just hold the button down with like no repercussions. You were just going to throw an accurate bullet pass. So I think now it's trying to add in this layer of, hey, you know, if you hold it down too long, yes, you're going to throw it really hard, but you might end up in the red, which could be an inaccurate pass. So I think that'll just make for a little bit more stick skill required in order to throw accurate bullet passes in the game. And as far as the gameplay itself from the trailer goes, we could break it down, but honestly, the plays happen so fast, we don't even get to see a lot of plays in their like entirety. So there's really, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable enough, I guess, trying to break down the gameplay that was shown. There's some things that look good, there's some things that make me a little worried. One of the things that makes me a little worried is I didn't see a single gang tackle in the trailer. And yeah, I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about that, because, you know, that's a part of football. And in this gameplay trailer, if you go back and watch, there's not a single moment where more than one player makes a tackle on a ball carrier. And I did notice in the trailer lots of interceptions. I'm sure that when we all hop on for the first time, we're going to be throwing lots of picks because of the new passing mechanics and the new defensive mechanics, as well, as far as, you know, disguising coverages like we talked about, and the new, you know, just coverage, just the passing game on both sides of the ball. I think is going to be exceptional in college football 25, and I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be a really tough game. It seems like it might be the hardest football game we've had come out in a long time, especially with all the new Composure stuff under the hood. I think taking a small team and going up against these big schools is not going to be as easy as it used to be in NCAA 14. And so that I'm really excited to get my hands on this game come July, and can't wait for the next deep dive, which I believe is going to be presentation from my understanding. I don't know when we're going to get it, but I believe it's going to be presentation. That's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're still here this far into the video, let me know in the comments what your favorite feature is that you're looking for, and also give this video a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, peace.